Hey everybody, welcome back to Wheelin' with Wally. My name is Justin, and in today's video I will be installing a GMRS radio in my 2023 Jeep Gladiator. So I can get pretty remote on some of the trips I do, so I decided to go with the 50 watt Midland GMRS radio, which is right here. And then I went with a large 3 decibel antenna from Midland as well, so I should be able to stay in contact with people or hopefully reach people if I need them. I also picked up this mounting bracket for my bull bar on my bumper because that's where I'll be mounting the antenna. I'll have a link down in the video description for everything you see in the video, so if you guys have any questions or are looking for a product, just check down there. So I've given it a little bit of thought, and my plan is to wire the radio directly to the battery and then run those wires and the antenna wire up here through the cowl, and then once you come through the doorway here, it will be up through the windshield frame and around up to my overhead Molle panel. Again, I'll have links to all of that in the description. Now, I'm not a radio expert. I have installed one before on my TJ, but I've read that wiring directly to the battery is best because it helps you avoid any interference that you might pick up tapping into other wires inside the Jeep. So for my first step, I'm going to go ahead and mount the radio to the overhead Molle panel in the Jeep. Now overall, your experience might vary a little with this step depending on the radio you purchased and where you're going to mount it. But if you have this radio or similar, you're going to have a hardware bag that comes with it. So grab that hardware bag and grab the radio. Now for me in this radio, I have 4 of these little black screws in the bag. I'm going to go ahead and take those out. Those are the ones you need. Once you have those screws, you can set the hardware bag aside for now. We're going to take these screws and you put 2 in to each side of the radio, and you're just going to put them in there loosely for now. Just get them in there about 1/4 of the way, and you want them sticking out pretty far so you can still slide this onto the mount. So here's a look at how far I put those screws in there. Like I said, you want them sticking out a good amount still. You're going to need the actual mounting bracket. Now, they did include screws for these. Where I'm mounting it, these screws will not work, so I don't need that. What I grabbed was just a couple of small bolts and nuts, and I have some washers and lock washers down here to put on there so I can mount this up to my Molle panel. So again, depending on how you do this, you might be able to use those screws, or you might have to go grab some hardware so you can mount it somewhere else. So I want to show you guys this before I get the bracket mounted to my Molle panel because it'll be easier here. But if you pick up your bracket and look at the side, you'll notice those different slots. This one is the rear of the bracket, and these are the front. So the purpose of this is you are meant to mount the bracket first so you can get to these top holes without the radio in the way. And then if you take your radio with those loosely mounted screws that we put in there earlier, you can slide the bracket right onto there. You do the rear first, and then you can slide it back into place, and then you're meant to tighten down these screws on the side of the radio. You also have a little bit of adjustment here depending on where you mount it, so you can angle the radio in 3 different orientations so it's pointed more up or down. So my plan is to mount the radio somewhere over here, kind of in this orientation, so it's turned a little towards the driver's seat, but is also kind of in this far back corner so I can see the screen and reach everything as easily as possible. But then also I'm trying to make sure it's not in the way of that handle or latch that is for the Freedom panel. So you want to kind of orient it where it'll work best for you, but also not block any of the functions of the Jeep. And then with that being said, you can see I pulled my Freedom panels off, so I've got a little more room to work here. I can pop my head through the top and then reach the top side to get these bolts on. Just starting with the rear screws, getting those started, and then getting the front in there as you slide it back, and then pick the adjustment you want. Once you have that set up, go ahead and tighten down the screws on the side of the radio. So I'll just bring the camera in here and put you roughly where the driver's head would be. And there you go. It's not perfect, but it is facing this way pretty good so you could see the screen and make any adjustments. But then it's not too far this way where the passenger wouldn't be able to lean over and see the screen and make adjustments if they needed to. If you guys want to mount your radios the same way, but you don't have an overhead Molle panel, be sure to check out my other video on that install. Because I want to run the radio power lines and the antenna line together, I'm going to go ahead and mount the antenna next. That way that wire is ready to be run with the power lines. So the mount I bought for the antenna is this simple bull bar mount. it just clamps around the bar. So I'm probably going to install it on the left side, and I'll probably have the antenna mount on the inside of the bull bar just to protect it as much as possible. I think this mount will work pretty well. I don't see why it wouldn't, but once I get it tested out, I'll let you guys know if I have any problems with it. And again, link down in the description. So this mount just came with this little bag of hardware. It's just 4 nuts and bolts. Pretty simple. I'm going to pull these out, and I'm going to get this started by hand and roughly line it up where I want it. I'm going to offset it to the left, and that way it's just kind of less in my view as the driver. So I'm going to kind of eyeball that this is all kind of plumb and level here with the rest of the Jeep. I don't want the antenna being cockeyed. And then once I have it roughly where I want it, I can tighten these down. And if I have to, once I put the antenna on there, if it's way off, I can come back and correct it. Now I need to go ahead and feed this wire through the hole here, but the end is way too big to fit through the hole. It just won't go. So if you look on the end of these, you can actually unscrew this bigger head, and then it gives you this nice little piece that'll slide through most of what we need. So I'm going to set this aside for now, and I'm going to leave that off until I run this all the way up to the radio. So after you get that end off, if you look at the base of the antenna, you have a nut here that you can unscrew. This nut is designed so you can put it back on there afterwards, after it's on the mount, which it has to be that way. So it has this slit in it so you can slide it through the wire like that. However, you have this little star lock washer down here that you have to take off and then put back on after you run the wire through it. So now we can go ahead and start feeding the wire through the mount, and then slide on your washers on the bottom side as you're doing this and hold them in place. So once you're nearing the end, go ahead and set the antenna through there, and then take your big nut, slide it over the wire, and get that hand tight for now. Depending on how much it matters to you, it does say Midland on the front of the antenna, so you can orient that so it faces outward. So go ahead and grab yourself a large wrench or crescent wrench and tighten this nut down. This antenna is also on a large spring, so if it hits something, it's got some flex and bend in it, so it won't just snap your antenna, which is a nice feature. So now comes the tedious part, and that is running this wire and trying to keep it neat and out of the way, but also securing it. So I'm going to run it along my bull bar down to here, and then I'm just going to jump probably down into here with these wires from my winch and come up into the engine bay and then run along the fender. I'll show you more of that in a minute. Right now I'm just going to go ahead and get this secured and tucked up through there. So this next part's going to be kind of hard, and that is fishing the wire up under the grill and then reaching it down through here. I don't think I'm really going to be able to show that, so I don't think I'm going to try, and it'll probably be a 2-person job. I'll probably lay underneath the Jeep and feed it up and have my fiance grab it through here. And if you can look, you can see that gap right there where the wires are coming up. Those are my fingers dangling. So that's where I'm going to try and shoot it up through there, and then I'll just go along the fender. So that was a little bit of a pain to get that up through there, but I got it. So now I'm just going to start routing it this way. Pop this under the foam there. I'm going to take the end of the cable and I'm going to go under this bolt and box. This piece is rubber, so I'm just going to slide this underneath there and tuck it on the inside. I'm going to take the end again and I'm going to go under this little pinch weld here. So that should be pretty secure and safe without even using any straps. It's held down in multiple areas. So I think we're good on routing it here. So now we're going to go ahead and pull this corner of the cowl off, and then we'll be able to get through there no problem. These bolts are a T40. I'm just going to go ahead and pop these loose. With those 4 bolts out, you should just be able to pop this off. There we go. And you can see with this corner off, you have pretty direct access through here. There's plenty of room in here to play. This is going to be another part that's a little hard to show on camera just because it's such a tight area. But basically what I did was I loosened these 2 clips down here so I could get a little wiggle room in this piece of rubber. And then from the other side, I actually stuck through a flathead screwdriver. I didn't have to like punch through anything. It's just some foam in there, so I just kind of wiggled it through. And this is the drain for up top for any water that gets in around the window frame. It runs out down here. But right next to that is the head of the screwdriver that you guys can't see. And all I'm going to do is feed this wire through that foam while I pull the screwdriver back. Basically, the screwdriver is just kind of push the foam up out of the way so I can fit this through without trying to fight it. So not the easiest thing I've done, but there it is. The threads just kept wanting to catch on all that foam in there, so it was just hard to push through because you don't want to kink the antenna wire. But that is through. Also, this is just more foam. I'm going to slide it under there and get it stuffed all the way to the back. That way, when I put the cowl back in, it's all tucked underneath. So this next step I'm going to do might not be an issue for you guys, but because of where I'm mounting my radio, these wires are going to be just a pinch short to reach my battery. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of wire to them before I run it. For this step, I went ahead and took those 2 clips out just so I could lift this up and slide the wires underneath and come through here. So here's my power and ground wire. I'm just going to slide these underneath this and then up into here. So I think putting it up this way will work pretty well, and then I'll tuck it up in here to keep it out of the way. I'm not going to put anything back together yet or stuff it in there too far because I'm going to run the wire and get it connected to the radio and then pull back any extra slack I have towards the engine bay. So I got a little carried away and did this off camera, but for the grab bar here, if you pop these 2 pieces off, I just used a flathead screwdriver to pop them off. There are 2 10mm screws, one up top, one at the bottom here, and you take those out, and then you just give this a good tug, like this, and then you'll be able to get the wires up into here. We'll be able to hop over to this side and get up here into the top of the windshield channel, and then run it over. So real quick, I am going to notch out this plastic up here right where it meets this rail. That way my wires have a spot to come out. So I've got the wires all routed up through there now. Not the prettiest thing I ever did. I cut a little notch there for the radio wire to come out, and then I just kind of squeezed the electrical wires out up in this gap here. Now I'm going to push this back on and clip it into place. Now I'm just going to put those 2 bolts back in here off camera. Once you have those bolts back in there, go ahead and pop these back into place. So now go ahead and take these 2 little clips and stick them back in here on this rubber piece. So the fuse for the radio falls in a really awkward spot for me. It's right on this foam. So what I'm going to have to do is just leave it tucked inside of here and then just run these wires underneath. So now I'm just going to go ahead and reinstall this corner of the cowl. That's just 4 bolts. I'm going to go ahead and do this off camera. So my plan for the wires now is to run the positive right here to the positive battery terminal, and then the negative I'm going to ground right here. I'll probably use this spare one. Again, I am not a radio expert, but I read if you ground it straight to the battery over there with other things grounded, it can cause some more interference. I don't know for sure, but there's a ground right here. I'm just going to use that. Both the nuts on the ground and the positive terminal are a 10mm. I'm going to go ahead and loosen these up. So I'm sticking the ground on first. Now I'm going to go ahead and loosen the terminal on the positive. And connect the wire. Tighten the nut back down. Cover that back up. We're good to go plug in the radio. So I feel like I keep saying this, but again, not a radio expert, just a little knowledge and a little bit of what I've read. I have a good amount of extra antenna wire here. From what I understand, the best way to do it is to cut it to length as short as possible to reach your radio and then put new ends on it. I don't have those tools. Maybe I might look into doing that in the future. But the other stuff you don't want are any super tight bends or any real tight coils. All of that can cause issues with your radio. So if you have extra, I've read the best way is a really big loop or to do like kind of a figure 8 loop. Again, larger is better. So I'm just, for now, going to coil mine up on top of the Molle panel so it's out of the way. I'm going to take that larger end of the antenna that I took off earlier so I could get this through all the tight areas, and I'm going to put that back on now. Alright, so now that's back on, and I'm going to go ahead and take this and plug it into the back of the radio and screw it on. Next thing I can do is take the power cord and plug it in. So the radio should have an antenna and power. I'm going to go ahead and do some housekeeping up here real quick with some zip ties and clean this up, and then I'll be right back with you. This next step should be pretty easy. You're just going to take the mic and you're going to screw it in right here on the radio. So just go ahead and pop that little rubber cover off. Take the end of your microphone. You'll see a little notch on there, so make sure you line that up correctly. Stick that into place and then screw it down. So I think I figured out how I'm going to attach my mic. This seems to be the best way to keep it out of the way. What I have here is what's called a gear keeper, and this allows me to have the mic held up but pull it out and it retracts. So it's kind of like a janitor's keys, if you ever saw that in school, if I'm not dating myself too much there. But this gives me a lot of flexibility with the mic or the passenger. It's not hooked on anything, so you don't have to kind of reach for it and fumble to rehook it when you're done. It is just constantly able to be retracted, and that keeps it clean and out of the way. When I'm not when I'm not using it on the trail and I'm driving, I'll probably just tuck this up here a little bit just to hold it up a little farther to keep it from kind of dangling in my passenger's face. But all in all, I think that will work out pretty well. The goal for this isn't great, but that is the entire install complete. So now we just have to verify it works. Hopefully we can hear someone on the radio. I haven't paid any actors to do this, so maybe we'll just get lucky and hear someone. But reach up here, and I'm going to hold my power button down. Turns on, powers up. That is a fantastic sign. I'm not hearing anyone. I'll hit scan. See if we can pick up any noise real quick, but it's most likely working. So I didn't get anyone there, so what I'm going to do, just to prove to you guys it's working, is grab my handheld, walk out there, I'll set you guys up here, and you can see if you can hear me.
Make sure to subscribe to Wheeling with Wally.
Well, it sounded like it worked to me, so I guess I did something right. Well, we know it can receive, so let's try and transmit. I'll set you guys up over there, and I'll call through on this radio to my handheld.
Seriously, you guys should subscribe to Wheeling with Wally.
So I did want to mention this too. I think I forgot to mention it at the start of the video, but if you're interested in getting this same Midland radio, it did come with a small antenna and a little magnetic base and a long wire to mount it. So you have all of that. You don't have to get the giant antenna I did. Alright guys, that's going to wrap up this install. Hopefully this video helped you. If it did, please drop me a like down on the video. If you have any questions, you can drop me a comment down there as well. Again, I am not a radio expert by any means, but I will try and help you if I can. All in all, I don't think this was too bad of an install. It took me about an hour or so, maybe 2 hours filming, but I think you guys can knock it out too. I have faith in you. I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you on the next one.